Okay, welcome back. So here in this video, I'm going to show you the very fundamental how to create or how to understand Flutter codes, Flutter project. So let's start with the new Flutter project. So make sure that your AVD is running, or if you're having issues with your AVD, you can use Chrome and run on your Chrome browser. So let me make it a little bit smaller here. So create new project using the command palette. Make sure that you have your Flutter new project here, and select with the descriptive command to make it easier for you to understand. Right, so create new Flutter project. So and then select where you want your project to be located. So let's say I'm going to create a project here. Select project, and then I'm going to give like simple calculator, right? So give it a simple calculator app project. All right, so wait for the project to be completed or complete in terms of reloading. Okay, so just to make things clear, I'm going to remove everything from the main dot code. So this is basically your main your basically where your code start, your Flutter code start. So just to make things easier, I'm going to remove everything. All right, so this is basically now empty. So what I'm going to start with is the void main with run app. So the run app at the moment, we don't have yet anything to run. So this is basically your public static void main, similar to that. And you need to import to be able to use run app. You need to import either three of these. So make sure you choose the first one, the material.NET. All right. But at the moment, we don't have yet anything to run, the class to run. So for Flutter, you need your what we call as your first class that you want to run is stateless class. So to create new stateless class, just type in st. So you're given with a number of options. So there are two here: stateful widget, stateless widget. So choose the stateless widget first. So give the names for the application my app. So this is basically for your first stateless class, and this is basically we're going to use this and call the my app class in here. All right, so by default this is your class name. You can call it constant from there, and you get yourself your first stateless widget. So the stateless widget here, the my app class here, basically contain one override method and one constructor, which here we can start with the widget build. But here in the widget build, we need to start with material app class. So we're going to return material app class instead of the container or any other widgets there. So we need at least one material app in this project or any other project. So within the material app, so the material app basically contain two parameter. So one, we can use title. So give it any names, like for example, this is a string. So provide let's say simple calculator. And the second thing that you need is a home, right? So this home parameter will require another class. All right, so it basically your main method here called my app. The my app then will initiate the widget build. The widget build will start a material app, and here then if you want to work here straight away, you can set your home to scaffold and everything. You can build your scaffold here, but it will be defined as a stateless widget. So usually if you want to build your UI, you want to work with stateful widget. So to work with stateful widget, you can create another class. So leave it here for now. So this is still error, so don't worry about that. So we're going to create another stateful class. Stateful class. We already have stateless class, so we're going to create stateful class. So as the F. So you have your Flutter stateful widget. Select that. So you can provide a name. So let's say my home page or my home screen. So here we can just use my home page. So now this is your stateful widget. So from the stateful widget here, you can call this as home for the stateless widget. So give it there. So you get yourself a proper home. Alright, so this is a constant for now. But it can be defined everything as constant in the material app. Alright, so now we have ourselves my home page. So my home page now is basically the one that we're going to build the scaffold. Alright, so for the material app here, there are other parameters that you might want to include. Something, for example, your themes. Okay, so you can use theme data, and for the theme data, now you don't have to. The theme skill will decide. This is basically similar to your CSS. So theme data, app theme, so or the color scheme. So those are the schemes of color that you can use to be used in your application. Okay, so there are other themes that you can define. So this is just one of it. So for example, like I want to choose my primary color. So let's say primary color. I want to set colors to, let's say, red. Okay. To remove that. Right. So color scheme. Other than that, so if I just want to set primary color, so I'm going to choose red. For now. Right. So there are only one parameter that I set inside the theme data, just a primary color red. Okay. So going back to the my home page. So inside the my home page here. So this is basically where we're going to build our UI. So this is basically we put our scaffold. Okay, so we're going to put our scaffold for the UI. And then within the scaffold, we're going to have two elements. One is add bar, right? So, and we have to look into constant. We need to remove constant because add bar cannot be used. Add bar title. So text can provide simple calculator. Okay, but we have to remove, I believe, so it should be constant for now. Oh yeah, sorry, this one is it's not that. Supposed to be add bar. Made it one more time. It's missing that passing parameter. There you go. Alright, just missing that. Okay, so we need the first one is the first element to the scaffold is add bar, and then the second one we need we need to go outside from the add bar. So this is add bar. So after add bar, we need body section. There you go. So for the body, this is where we can define, for example, the root for the body we can set to column. So within column we can define children, right? So we can add more to the parameter. All right, so this is basically we set our body for the scaffold, and here since we want to have a multiple widget to the body, so we can put children by using columns. So here we can add whatever widget that we want. So for example, a text widget, a text field widget. So this is the first one, and then we can have the second text field widget from there. So since we don't have yet anything, we can define everything as constant for now. Right, and we can give it a try and run. So this is basically what we call as a bare minimum for your Flutter application to run. So press F5 and select your available devices. So I want to run on my Pixel. So wait for the application to be installed into your AVD. All right, so install, and then there you go. You have yourself simple calculator app bar. So we have our app bar here. So if you think that the app bar require color, so you can just add color to the to the app bar. So for example, background color, choose the background color. So select color as red, example, if that's what you want, if that's what you're looking for. If you want to have your simple calculator title for the app bar to different color, so you can set up your text to a different color. For example, we can just add just whatever that you want to define, just put it after that, that the first parameter that we pass. So let's say I want to add style and text style to this and set the color of the text to white. Okay, so now the app bar, if I save on this, you can see the text color for the app bar turn to white. Right, so the body section at the bottom down here, now you can see that I have two text field. So if you want to, let's say, make it with like padding to the left, to the right, so you can just wrap the root columns, the root widget to the body. Let's say I want to wrap with, but you have to highlight first. Okay, you have to highlight first, and then you can select. Let's say I want to wrap with padding, for example. So here you're going to end up with constant, but this one no need for constant anymore. Okay, so now you can see there's a padding to the left, to the right. All right, so that's for the text field. So then I want to add one more at the bottom down here. I want to add a button. Okay, so just add to the children. So let's say you can use material button. Okay, so for the material button require on press method to be called. So the on press here, either you can create the on press method at the bottom down here. So for example, I just want to use the name here. So it's just on press method. So whatever names or method, it doesn't matter. So you can just click on this, create the method at the bottom. So you get yourself this method function. Okay. So definitely you need to remove constant, and you can just put constant everywhere. Alright, for that matter. So but for the button, you cannot see the button. The button is there, but you need to label the button. So you can just add child. Is there any child to the button? So now you can have button. But usually if you use material button, the material button, they don't comes with color. So you might need to add the color to the button. So for example, like color here, color red also. Save. Okay, so now you get yourself color red. Alright. So there should the child property should be the end of the argument. So just change on that, and then add constant modifier. So you get yourself a simple button there with two input. Alright, so then since we are now already a stateful widget, so that basically allow us to get value from our text field, which enable us to add what we call as text editing controller. So for the text editing controller to be able to access whatever value that is in the text field, you need to add what we call as text editing controller. So define the class name, text editing controller, give the controller names. So for example, the first number, num controller or num a controller, right? So and then the second controller, we can define them. Sorry, it's not there. Forgot about that. Right, so it's not in the stateful widget there. Should be in the state class. Put it there. Okay, so the second one also the same. So this one for the second text field. So you have two text controller that you can set the text field with the controller. So now you need to assign the first text field with controller. So select controller. So this is a num a controller. Set the num a controller, but you need to remove a constant there. So the same with the second text field. So the second text field also require controller, and set to the num b controller. So now you can use a controller to retrieve whatever value that you have in the text field here. So then what you need to do now is to get the value and then do some operation. So to get the value, basically implemented through the calculate button here. So this is basically called from the onPress method. So it basically then execute down here. So to be able to get the value, you can use num. First get the value first from both of these text field. So you can see there num1. Let's say if you just want to directly convert the value, so double num1 num a controller, and num2 double dot parse num b controller, and do the operation of summation. We can define dum sum, double sum num1 plus num2, and then you can straight away print out the value in the terminal. So that should do the trick. So let's select 4 and 5, press the button. As you can see, the value defined at the bottom. Since we define this as a double, so it will end up as a double value. If you want to show the value at bottom down here, so might as well we add another widget here. So for example, the widget is text, and we can just put like result here. So usually you can just use concatenation, concatenate with the. We don't have. We might need to move this double sum, put it somewhere at the top for the variable value to be able to access the value later. So we can start define the value at the top here, and then we can just result, put it sum. But you have to convert to string, right? You have to convert to string first. So sum is the double data type. To be able to concatenate with string here, you have to convert to string. And straight away you can actually use what we call as an interpolation, which allow you to straight away simplify your output. So as you can see here, this is result 0. But the problem is that whenever you press a button, the result won't appear down here. That's basically you will require to set state. Okay, so whenever you change something, so implement set state, just type set state, and that's it. Okay, I'm going to remove that print. So, but I need to remove some because I already defined some up here. So you can just straight away use them. All right, so now it should work. You can see there. All right, so 45, 3, you get result 988. So that's basically the basic here. So I'm not going to go into modifying all the controllers and whatnot. Just please understand the basic first. All right. So that's all. Bye-bye.